welcome to the Sigma update. I'm QX, and with me we have CW. How you doing, CW? Welcome.
Yes, mate. Great to have you back in Australia once again. Feeling much better compared to last week. Definitely on the mend. Yeah, can't complain at all. How about yourself?
Good, good. I think it was a group effort healing we were doing. The teamwork. Two hands make it faster than one kind of thing, for sure. Yeah, and I decided to come back to Australia. It was so nice there. It's 91 degrees Fahrenheit out right now in Australia. Sun is shining, the water's warm, lobsters on the grill. It's fantastic.
Shrimp on the barbie.
I didn't want to say it, CW.
There you go. It's just a cliche. Had to.
So today we're going to do a little bit of a looser format, just because we decided to not do a guest dev this week, to focus on a few different things. So there'll be a couple chapter markers about what we're covering, but other than that, it's going to be a little bit more free flowing on the format that we're covering. So that sound all right, CW?
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Sounds good. Let's jump in.
Perfect. So we're going to start off with a community member to mention, and we see them a lot in Ergopad chat, as well as a few other the main chats, and that is Alexis. And what does Alexis do, CW?
So he's basically the community manager for Ergopad and Paideia. So you'll see him, like you mentioned, really active in the chats corresponding to those projects themselves, but then also on Twitter as well, driving a lot of engagement through Ergopad, Paideia, and then just basically making a lot of sort of general comments for the Ergo ecosystem as a whole. Yeah,
and a lot of the times what Alexis likes to do is he likes to engage the community in the Ergo chat, as well as the Paideia chat and general chat as well. When he's got some post for Ergopad or Paideia, and he says, I think he just ran something where he talks about engagement where well, were there some rewards based on that? I don't want to say that without being certain. I should have.
I'm not sure.
I should have read up on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll read up on that and I'll post that below. But there was just a community engagement thing that he posted a week or two ago that was similar to that, in trying to engage the community in that, not just, because when we're posting in the, like when they're posting in the Ergopad channel, or we're posting in the Ergo main channel right now in the bear market, I mean, we're preaching to the choir, essentially, I mean, everybody in chat, most of them have heard everything we're trying to say and that kind of thing. So when somebody like Alexis posts in that chat and asks for your engagement, please take them up on that opportunity. Oh, you got to pat me on the back there, CW?
I did. I thought you were a bit itchy there, so I had to give you a scratch.
So in those situations, that's like a very low effort thing you guys can do to really help out the community as a whole. If Alexis or somebody from another project says, hey guys, here's a tweet, you guys mind retweeting, commenting, that kind of thing, that makes a huge difference. Just think about it for yourself. If you're scrolling through Twitter and you see somebody, have a post and it's got like 2 likes and 1 retweet, you're like, yeah, that's okay kind of thing. But you come by a post and you see, 150 likes, 75 retweets, you're like, oh, I should take a second look at this kind of thing. So imagine that from outside the community. That makes a big difference, and it's very, very little effort on how the community can engage in those kind of things.
Yeah, most definitely. I often say it as well about the ecosystem finding their voice, and this is just a simple way to do so. And kudos to Alexis and the Paideia and Ergopad team, the way they sort of do drive engagement and how active they are, regular posts and engagement both through like Twitter and their various sort of chat channels as well, whether that's directly Paideia, Ergopad, or as you mentioned in the main Ergo channel and things. Just driving that engagement, a simple like, retweet, and a comment, it does go a long way for the algorithms and everything like that. I know sort of people are sick of hearing about social media and this and the way it works and all that sort of stuff, but it's an essential part to it. And it's just so simple as well. Just a simple like, retweet, and away you go.
And I mean, take it for example of chats even. If you go into a new crypto environment and you hop into their Telegram chat, and it's, you see a couple of tumbleweeds go by kind of thing. You're like, oh, who's here? Is it just bots? But if you come into, like Ergo today or any other day, and we're chatting up a storm and throwing stuff back and forth and chatting about ideas. I think there were some ideas in the Ergopad channel about a new a new DApp actually today. Kind of thing. They see those kind of things and they're like, wait, what is going what's going on here? These guys
Yeah.
are really active. So that spans to Twitter as well. That spans to, Facebook, even if you post there, or Reddit, all that kind of engagement. Super, super important for the ecosystem.
Yeah. And just to expand as well, the conversations that everyone's having, there's substance behind it as well. It's not sort of that
Yeah.
traditional moon boy speculative sort of, we're going to the moon rocket ship emoji. Yeah, it's having deep conversations, and that's what I love about Ergo. Whether it's yeah, it could be about any topic, but yeah, people diving right down deep into the sort of the depths of the conversations and the subjects of like the subject matter, for instance.
Exactly. Moving on with that, something I want to mention about Ergopad that, I'm guilty of waiting a while to engage with Ergopad. I staked I got a little Ergopad, maybe a couple thousand, put it on there to stake. And then I put my Neta on there to stake as well when that opened up, which was pretty neat. But then I started noticing the tiers that Ergopad has for their staking tiers that lets you get involved with IDOs earlier than everybody else, which was pretty darn neat. And so I took part in the what was the last one? Cyber.
Uh, is it the Cyberverse one, the game?
Yeah, you got it. I took it's the CPYX token. Yep. So I took part in that, and it was pretty neat. And I followed along somewhat. And I was got to a point where I wanted to see if I could get my rewards, cash in my token to get my reserve tokens that I had pre-purchased, essentially with SigUSD. And Ergopad does a really, really neat thing where they have that I didn't know this before. I'm like, what, 2 months old at this point, where I learned this, that they do a nice timed release. So they have next release of a percentage of your tokens is this date. So they kind of trickle release these tokens to you from the dashboard interface of Ergopad. And I think that's fantastic. So that, I'm not pulling my tokens. I'm just waiting for them all to build up, just because it's, that's something in my head that I like to unstake all at the same time. But that's I feel that's really important for that kind of thing, to help with maintain some sort of, even price line of the token, stop some, big investor from just dumping everything there at the end, kind of thing. So I was really impressed by that setup they had at Ergopad.
Yeah, definitely. Lou Veitcher's done a lot of great work there behind the scenes, getting all this staking mechanism and everything up to scratch. And yeah, he's knuckled down now into Paideia and getting that up to standard so it can release. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little setup that they got going over there at Ergopad. And it kind of leads us into the next sort of area as well of our discussion.
Yes, which is
the SPF IDO.
yes.
So Spectrum Finance are looking, they've been trickling the information out there. They've been teasing it.
Gaz is going to kill us talking about this again.
Yeah, soon TM.
Soon.
But yeah, they've made a number of sort of little announcements over the last couple of weeks in regards to the SPF IDO and everything like that. And I think, was it last night or it was just very recently anyway, the Ergopad team did mention that their the IDO for SPF tokens is going to be a little bit different UI and things like that as well.
And they're talking a little bit about KYC for that, correct? Or Spectrum was?
Yeah, there's been some chatter around that. Obviously, we're still awaiting more details.
Yeah.
So the standard Gaza response soon, I dare say. So yeah, I dare say, I keep hearing rumors, speculation and things like that. It's not going to be too far away. So yeah, once again, soon.
And there was a really cool thing that was discussed in the Ergopad chat today. They were discussing a peer-to-peer lending protocol, not lending protocol, but peer-to-peer swap protocol. So let's take, for instance, that, you know, I'm in the USA. So if I can't participate in a KYC event, you know, I'm a staker at Ergopad with Ergopad tokens over one of the thresholds. So I should be able to take place in it. But if I'm KYC and I can't, and I still want to take place in it, these kind of peer-to-peer swaps would be pretty neat, where somebody could take part in it with KYC themselves, and then potentially for a bit of a upsell, sell me those pre-reserve spots for those tokens in this P2P swap kind of thing. So that was a neat little workaround for that kind of thing. I can't speak on the legality of how that is, but but that's not my job to
Well,
do so.
exactly. Crypto, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I can definitely understand the reasonings behind going KYC. Obviously, no one knows about, well, there is no regulation. Let's just be frank. No one knows which way regulation is going to go, the extent of the regulation and things like that. And it's just a measure for the Spectrum team there to just cover themselves in the event of unforeseen regulatory sort of, I don't know, how do I describe it? Uncertainty.
Yeah, in that case, it's better safe than sorry to take that kind of
Yeah.
precaution. So, but if you do approach that, your whole business isn't toppled, and you can easily produce the required documentation and procedure that you followed, you know, within those legal
Yeah.
bounds. So, you know, you of course you hear people freak out and complain, but I mean, unfortunately, that's, you know, you have to take some kind of precautions to protect the business and that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And being here in Australia, I could probably open up some services. Like I said, it's an interesting topic there. Like you said, maybe even the delegation of like state keys and things like that.
Yeah.
Number of sort of possibilities there that just popped into my mind.
Yeah, lots of opportunities. That's the great thing about crypto, is like, what was it? I'm drawing a blank. There's that movie where, who's that movie with Bruce Willis? The Fifth Element.
I don't know. You
Are
lost me,
you
mate. I'm not a movie
serious?
person.
Oh my goodness, CW. So there's a fantastic scene in The Fifth Element where Gary Oldman takes his glass and he pushes it off the counter and it falls on the floor. And all of a sudden, this swarm of little robots come, and one, you know, starts sweeping, the other helps push it into the pan, another comes and sprays and mops and kind of thing. And the idea there was, you know, he was crazy, of course, but the idea there was, look at all these little things I've created from this one action. So I think that's a beautiful thing about crypto, is that, you know, Ergopad has this opportunity where they have to, you know, potentially do KYC because of Spectrum, and that essentially opens up another pathway for a multifaceted bunch of tools that can then semi-circumvent that or make it available for other people. And it's just a neat kind of chain effect with that kind of thing. You don't watch movies,
Yeah.
CW?
I've watched maybe 20 in my life, and I'd say 10 to 15 of those have been since having my little one as well. So all Disney stuff.
Were any of them the Christmas movie Love Actually, CW?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Good. Okay, one more thing on Ergopad and Paideia. Do you mind talking a little bit about the idea of what Paideia would offer, let's say, a small group that's starting a little project in the ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. So Paideia is, in simple terms, it's just or it's not just, it is a DAO framework. So the cool thing about the framework and the way it's set up, it's kind of like if you imagine like a TypeScript sort of form. You go through and you just check a couple of boxes and work your way down through the different criteria that essentially you need for the creation of a DAO. And then you split it up. It's basically on-chain governance. So you can have management of treasury funds and have voting rights. I believe you can create a token through there as well. So you can have QX token. So yeah, it's just a cool little sort of framework where anyone can, any entity could probably run. So
Kind of a one-stop shop, you're saying.
Yeah. Great for Sigmanauts. Like you can have something really in depth of treasury management, funds management for projects, decentralization in regards to sort of on-chain governance, treasury management, all kinds of bits and pieces. So yeah, really looking forward to it coming out, because there's a number of projects and entities within the ecosystem looking forward to it. And they're also looking to expand now into the Cardano ecosystem also.
That's fantastic. And is that Louis Vatra again working on the Ergo side with that?
Yeah, that's Louis. I'm not too sure.
Who the Plutus dev is. Yeah.
Oh, with the Pluto stuff, I'm not too sure there. I'd have to ask.
Cool.
I'll get back to you.
Thanks, CW. What's that token you were gonna make? The Rue coin? What was that?
Oh, what did I say? Ergo Ruse.
Ergo Ruse.
Ergo
That
Ruse.
sounds like a snack I saw on the TV when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, they had TV Ruse or something.
Something like that.
Something like
Right?
that. Yeah.
That's great.
I recall that also.
We'll wait for that. You got to get back to me on that one, CW.
Yeah, soon.
All right, let's move on to our next topic that we're going to talk about, because there was a lot of chatter about this in the community this week. And, we see it pop up a lot of the time, and that is wallets. So luckily, we have some really, really great wallet devs here in Ergo that have laid the groundwork for some, the amazing things that we experience today with mobile pay, with plugins for Chrome, with full desktop wallets kind of thing. So I thought, CW, we could just go through the list of wallets I have and just briefly chat about them kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Let's start off with one that we spoke about before. Let's go for the most complicated one as far as what it does and how big of a download and that kind of install it is. Well, it's easy to do. I don't mean complicated in that way. It's super simple. And that is the Satergo desktop wallet. And I know we've spoken about this before. And the really cool thing about the Satergo desktop wallet is that you can run an entire node on your computer with a few clicks kind of thing.
Yeah, beautiful, simple user interface and user experience that our favorite developer cat, Abergs, has set up there. So yeah, it is a full node wallet. So basically what that means is it holds the entire state of the blockchain and the UTXO set, and then also enforces protocol rules as well. So it aids in the decentralization and resilience of the network greatly. If you have the means available, by all means, spin one up. It's a couple of clicks, and fantastic sort of job there that Aberg once again has put together. And
once again, that beautiful GUI design that was it Nadi or
Nadi? Yeah,
Nadi made. That's fantastic. Yeah. So that's Satergo. And before we move on to the next one, let's just clarify for people, because a lot of people that are new to Ergo or new to crypto, or not even necessarily new, sometimes you get into crypto and you just never have the, not desire, but you never have the opportunity to go to further levels of understanding, because you can get by with, a basic wallet that you download and you buy on exchange and you're kind of there. So totally understandable. But a big misconception that a lot of people have that I think we should clear up every other show when we talk about this is that your tokens and coin and NFTs are not inside your wallet at all.
Yeah, that's correct. There is a big misconception there. So people obviously think that having a wallet, like you might have one in your back pocket now, you do have your cards, your cash, everything located in that wallet. Whereas in the crypto space, it's basically a gateway for your addresses into the ecosystem, into the blockchain. So you can have numerous derived addresses from a main address and have numerous sort of things stored there. But basically, what you have then is your private key. So what that does is unlock basically the right to be able to spend coins on the blockchain.
So let's talk about that. Let's break that down even further, CW. The private key, that is a 12 to what is it on Ergo now? 15 or is it 12? Or is it? Gosh.
The private key and the public key aren't basically your seed phrase there. That's
seed
something.
Phrase. So
yeah,
yep.
That's your mnemonic. Yeah.
Yep. So that actually derives your wallet, your main wallet address from that secret phrase, essentially.
Yeah, basically
So
public-private keys. Yeah,
public-private keys. And so then once you have your main address, you can also derive sub-addresses from that as well.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
And
And the cool this continuously blows my mind as well is, in order to derive an address, like creating a new wallet, there's actually more atoms in the entire
yeah,
known universe than there are possibilities for you starting a wallet out of scratch and finding someone's public key.
yep.
Like it's a private key. Sorry, it saying it like that, it just blows my mind each time.
Somebody explained it to me as in when I first was in crypto. It may have been Ergo too. When I was first in Ergo, they were talking about how imagine like the space from Earth to like the other side of the galaxy, essentially. And it'd be like you trying to find somebody's like, you know, a letter or something in between. They're
Yeah,
just floating around kind of thing. It's impossible, essentially.
yeah.
So so
Like, yeah, it can't not be done, but the odds of it actually happening, I think it was like winning Powerball 7 or 8 times consecutively in a row. And even then you're still multiple orders of magnitude away from actually that derived address. Like it's crazy to think.
based on what we just said there, it's always important to keep your seed phrase safe. That
Oh, extremely. That's as you can't iterate that enough. Don't keep it stored on anything that can have access to anything online. You often hear stories about people keeping it in like a Google Drive or even a password manager, anything like that. Just don't let it see the light of day on anything connected to the internet, whether that's a photo or once again, like a Dropbox scenario, Google Drive, anything like that. Don't have it anywhere near anything like that.
yeah,
Can't
and
stress that enough.
I mean, even if you feel like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be smart, I'm gonna zip up these, you know, I'm gonna make a folder with all my phrases in there, I'm gonna zip it up with like 256-bit AES encryption or whatever. Even with that safety procedure, there's still chances where you're gonna pull it off from somewhere and you're gonna unzip it and leave it unzipped sitting on your desktop or your downloads or documents and forget about it, kind of thing. And you may think that, you know, okay, that doesn't matter, but let me tell you a little story. I used to have a computer that was on all the time, just sitting there at my desk. It was my main machine when I was home working, and I had port forwarding on for remote desktop, VNC, back to my computer. One morning I wake up and I see my goddamn mouse running around the screen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I immediately severed the internet connection, but it was too late. Somebody had already poked around, realized I was logged into a Microsoft website and bought a bunch of gift cards, kind of thing. Now, if I had been in crypto at that time, and this was back in 2016, maybe 2015, 14, if I'd been in crypto and I had my little, you know, my Nautilus wallet up there kind of thing, ready to go, or I mean, I know it has a password, but you get the idea. I mean, the implications there could have been really bad. So I always try to warn people that, you know, if you have a machine that's sitting there and you have your seed phrase in a document somewhere in your machine that you think is safe, it's not. Somebody somehow can get in. And I checked the logs on my machine. They were trying for a day and a half to guess my VNC password, which was a very simple password because I was being stupid. But a day and a half they were in, they got the gift cards and it was done. I think it was like $600-700 of gift cards. Luckily I was able to stop it and cancel my credit card. But yeah, guys, you can never be too safe with that kind of thing. Even if you think you're being safe, just sit back, think, and
Yeah.
reevaluate that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And just a simple keylogger, like obviously you did speak about encryption there, but you obviously have to either copy paste, type in your seed phrase into a document, a folder, etc. in the first place. So if there's a keylogger sitting there running, someone has access to it, and they might sit on that key seed phrase for X amount of years, and they might revisit it after whatever time, and you don't even know you've been compromised in that respect. So it's
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
can't stress it enough.
yeah, think about it. If they know your wallet address and they have access to it and they have access to your seed phrase and they see that you DM you know you what's it called? UDCA did cost average. Yeah, DCA.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's a slow night for my brain today. They see the UDCA, monthly with $300. They say, okay, well, take $2,000 worth of his tokens now, or we'll wait 2 years and take $8,000 of his tokens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're never safe with that kind of thing. So yeah,
exactly.
and not even external intruders. We're talking about friends that are over to your house that know you're into crypto, or not even friends, acquaintances. You're at a party, your machine's open on your desk. You never know with these kind of things. You got to treat this like it's your credit card number, even more safer than that kind of thing. So
That's raising an interesting point also, just like to raise, it's like not publicly speaking about crypto also, because there's the simple
yeah,
$5 wrench attack as well. So
yep,
you could be at a party talking to one of your friends and someone overhears the discussion you're having and decide to take advantage of that when you're trying to leave and jump in your car and knock you over the head. And it's just a simple thing like that where someone can try and extract, and there's actually no technical aspect
yeah,
to it at all. It's just
done.
physical brute force.
Yep. And same thing about, how you store your keys. Like, oh, I carved it into this over here, and it's like that. If you sit down and think about it, it wouldn't be hard for somebody to come in and say, okay, they did this and they did that. Where would they save that kind of thing or that kind of thing? And just take some time to look through. So be safe.
Um,
Be safe. And that password that you put on your wallet is only for that wallet. If you restore another wallet with the seed phrase, that password doesn't matter. That is only your spending password for that specific install of that specific wallet, kind of thing. So don't think that that's protecting you from anybody else if they get your seed phrase. It's not like two-factor authentication.
Exactly. So what that, just to reiterate there, it's just basically allowing the wallet for you to be able to sign the transaction. It has no bearing on the security of things on chain or anything like that. It's just that one instance of that wallet install.
Like a lock key on your phone, kind of thing. Just for that phone, just specific for that kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly right.
All right, great. I think we warned them enough. Hopefully we scared everybody. So they pay attention to that kind of thing. Next up is Safe Wallet. How do you pronounce it? Safe.
I say Safe Wallet.
Safe Wallet. Okay.
It's SAFEW. So safe as F, Ergo Wallet. That's basically what it stands for. The cool thing about the Safe Wallet is mixer integration, and a lot of people find it the UI a lot more sort of oriented towards the developer and someone who's more technical. So they might be sort of the ones leaning towards this side and actually utilizing this wallet. Once I did mention, they do have the mixer integration, but then also having the ability to export transaction information as well. So we all have that sort of dreaded tax time.
Yep.
We all have to go or depending on where you are and the level of sort of your compliance that you are willing to sort of partake in, there is the tax obligations that you have to sort of do, and part of that is reporting. It's just a cool little feature that they have there also.
And so that'll correct me if I'm wrong, but that actually scans a blockchain for TXs. That doesn't save a historical data of your TXs. So anybody could pop it in right now and restore with their seed phrase and be able to export a list of their historic transactions. No,
I believe that's how it works. Correct.
That's
so any transaction that's been completed through the addresses and the associated addresses, it'll bring that up in the history.
Okay, very cool. It does have that cool kind of terminal look of like a Linux terminal kind of look. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have let's do Minotaur Wallet. And what's unique about Minotaur Wallet, CW?
Minotaur's a cool little wallet. So obviously it has the standard features, being able to sign general transactions and things, but also it has the capability to be a multi-sig wallet. So whether you're a small team and managing treasury funds, or someone like just a general user like ourselves, and we want to have sort of a 2FA set up, you can create a 2 of 3 multi-sig wallet. And then just have the capability there to be able to sign a transaction multiple times for it to go through. So someone might compromise one of the seed phrases, but then also then they don't have complete control over your funds then. So yeah, it's a cool little aspect there.
So that's saying for treasury, for instance, if you have 5 people in the treasury and you want to make sure that at least 3 people are in agreement for spending that treasury, the Minotaur wallet can make sure that 3 signatures happen before a payment is sent, essentially.
Yeah, so in that instance, you could have a simple 3 or 5 multi-sig setup, or 4 or 5, whatever sort of you want to sort of. It all happens when you actually set the wallet up itself. So you can export the public keys and then bring that all together in the wallet itself. So it's a cool little feature, and I think it's definitely underutilized in the ecosystem.
That is I think, was this last week? I think you had mentioned, maybe it was in a chat somewhere, that you could actually use this for yourself as a security measure of essentially multi-sigging with yourself. So if somebody compromises, one of your keys somewhere, they're not going to find the other key that you have buried in the backyard in a steel plate for that multi-sig kind of thing. I mean, it's a little clunky as far as that goes, but it is an option, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows what the value of token X could be in any amount of years. And I think setting up like a sort of cold storage sort of 2FA set up there for something that's holds the majority of your coins or tokens, I think it's really beneficial and an extra sort of layer of security for yourself.
Awesome. And who do you know who wrote that?
That was MHS Sam and his team.
The Rosenbridge MSH Sam, right?
Yep.
Fantastic. Correct. That's awesome. All right, and then we come to Nautilus.
Nautilus Wallet. So
good old Captain Nemo.
Good old Captain Nemo. A lot of people swear by this wallet, and at the time we only had, depending on sort of how long you've been in the Ergo ecosystem for, we only had the one wallet basically, which was Yoroi. And at the time, it was doing, I don't know, irreparable damage in regards to user experience and interacting with dApps and things in the Ergo ecosystem, just from the usability and everything like that. So at the time, Ergo had, which is now Spectrum, the DEX, was undergoing beta testing and everything like that. And the user experience coming from Yoroi was just outright terrible, to be frank. And then enter Captain Nemo and Nautilus to the rescue. So basically creating a dApp connector wallet. I think it was in the span of like 2 weeks, threw something together and people were interacting with, and they were transferring tokens on the DEX and having this epiphany of like, the DEX works. Like, so it wasn't Ergo DEX's problem or anything like that. The user experience was just made terrible by the wallet that was actually connecting and interacting and signing transactions. But yeah, a lot of people swear by Nautilus. There's a lot of sort of development going on there. You can display NFTs now. The Sigmafire side of things is coming. Inbuilt dApps like the Mosaic sort of framework on the mobile wallet will be that'll be brought into Nautilus also. So
just to pause here for the viewers, the Mosaic framework allows plugins essentially into the wallets.
Yeah, correct. So you can basically run dApps through the wallet itself. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and also in Nautilus, I believe you can change your node and GraphQL servers as well. It's off the main server, I believe. I bet you probably can do that in config files with the other wallets too, I imagine.
Without actually knowing, I'd say yes, as an assumption. Yeah, we all know what that means.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes. Joe's reminded us about assumptions quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I dare say that probably be the case. I know it's definitely the case, being able to swap nodes on the mobile wallet. Yep. But the others, I'd have to dive in and check each individually.
Gotcha. Okay, and then we have, am I missing one? There's one more, right? There's Terminus or Ergo Wallet mobile.
Yeah, so it's the Ergo mobile wallet. Yep. So Mr. Stahlfelger has put that together. Stahlfelger. Perfect pronounce it. He would be very proud of that pronunciation. Yeah, it's a fantastic piece of kit. I use it for basically everyday transactions, and then also have it set up as a cold wallet device. So storing things offline. I like being able to use a nice big screen on a touch screen on an older mobile phone instead of, or there's another one we can sort of touch on, the ledgers. Yeah, it's a great piece of kit. It's got Ergopad integration, the Mosaic framework's integrated, so you can interact with, like, say, the SigUSD bank,
Yep.
and a couple other sort of the token J features. There's box consolidation on there. Yeah, numerous sort of little tools that Mr. Starfog has put together.
That was him, Token J, correct?
Yes, correct.
Fantastic. And yeah, the box consolidation feature is really cool. And if we could go over that real quickly, and I think we explained it a little bit in the fragmented parts of our show, but it doesn't hurt to repeat it really quickly. So when, let's say I have a wallet with 5 ERG in it, that exists in essentially a box, okay? An unspent transaction output, UTXO, extended EUTXO. So if CW sends me an Ergo token, that Ergo token doesn't just go into that current box that I have with 5 ERG. That Ergo will be in another box sitting inside my wallet. So now I'll have a box with 5 ERG potentially, and a box with the 50,000 Ergo that CW is going to send me. Okay, and so after time, those boxes can add up, and you can have many of these boxes. So you could potentially, if you're mining per se, you could have, 200 boxes with 10 ERG in them at once. So when you go to purchase something or interact with a D app, the D app might get a little screwy if there are that many boxes and you have to spend a lot of money that takes from a lot of boxes. So with consolidating boxes, all it does is it takes all those funds, sends them to yourself, or you send it to yourself, and it wraps everything up back into one UTXO, one box. So now you're free to interact with D apps if you're having trouble before, kind of thing. So that's something that, it's not a more of a not a glitch, but a feature, I guess, of UTXO, one of the side effects of UTXOs, but
Yeah.
something to be aware of.
Yeah, a simple way to picture it is just think of it as cash transactions. So you did mention the miner there who might be getting regular payouts from their mining pool, and they might just have a big pile of dimes in front of them, and each one of those dimes is a UTXO. And then basically what the box consolidation does is you take all of those dimes and you convert it into one $20 note, which you can spend, and it's divisible and all that sort of side of it. But then also touching on the box consolidation, we're coming up to year 4 also in 6 months for the implementation or the activation basically of storage rent. So what that means is, and just quickly give a bit of an overview here, is if a UTXO hasn't been spent for 4 years, then the miners have the right to then claim storage rent, which is 0.14 roughly of an ERG at this point in time, which is something that's sort of amendable on chain as well. Yeah, it's just an interesting sort of thing to think about as well, just in that respect.
CW, as somebody who, is very particular about certain things, that was a lovely thing to hear about Ergo when I first joined. Something that bugged me about Bitcoin and ETH and all that kind of stuff is that tokens can be lost and the supply can dwindle, just like cash. Essentially, it can be burnt, it can be lost, it can be, somebody dies and they lose their keys. But in Ergo, it's going to be put back into the system by storage fees, storage rent, which is a beautiful concept. It just really is a beautiful concept.
Yeah, and it just goes to show and reiterate the fact that miners are the custodians of the chain. Ultimately, they own every ERG, whether it's just a matter of time until they do have access to it. So they are the ultimate custodians. We pushed it numerous times in regards to the governance features and the control that miners actually have over Ergo, being proof of work, and essentially Ergo meaning work in Greek. The miners, once again, do have ultimate control and custody of the chain.
So step up, miners. You hear that?
To each their own.
Yeah, I know. It'd be nice to have a lot more miners engaged, but understanding for now. It's a bear, and it is what it is. All right. Let's hop on to our new section that we did last week. Unless we missed any wallets. Did we get all the wallets?
We do have Ledger now. Just
Thank you,
quickly, we do
yes.
have Ledger integration
Yay.
on in developer mode, which is great little use and utility there for the community. We've been sort of on this road now for
Oof.
20 months, possibly,
Yep.
thereabouts. It's been a long journey, but almost there at the final hurdle. Like, yes, you can use it in developer mode, almost there, having that the review of the application from the Ledger team itself. So yes, you can use it currently in developer mode. So we'll just say soon in regards to waiting for that final audit and being put up there. And also we have Zelcore as well.
Zelcore.
Zelcore Wallet. So that's basically from the Zel team or Flux.
Oh, right, Flux.
So
yeah,
that's a multi-asset wallet, that one. So there's it's a nice little tool in regards to miners. They have support for a lot of proof of work coins. So it is utilized there on the mining front a fair bit.
That holds native erg.
Native erg, yes.
Oh, and that's right. It holds some other erg ecosystem tokens as well, I believe it.
Yeah, that's correct. There's
Comets in
Ergopad
there. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Zelcore,
correct.
that's right. Cool. And for Ledger, don't be too scared of the developer mode. I think it's just a button you turn on. You just flip it on the preferences, right? Basically,
that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
To be able to be listed into developer mode, there has been some sort of review. It just hasn't had that final sign off from the Ledger team themselves. So to be able to get on there, yes, it has been a review and everything like that, internally, externally. And then, a lot of people are utilizing and haven't had any issues or anything like that. It's just that final little tick to get over the line finally and have 100% utility there.
That's awesome. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to the community marketing section. We had some good success last week. This week, some updates as well. And I can start off with Rustin here. We have rustinmyeye. And Rustin, I think we spoke about a little bit. Rustin is really amazing at setting up these the podcasts for the SigmaCast, for the Ergopad podcast, any show that CW does, that we do here as well. He's got it up on the podcast channels in like 2 seconds.
It's kind of scary, actually. Sometimes I've actually take Hash It Out, for instance. I'll set it up there. I'll make the video public. I'll go and make a tweet to go and send it out. Upon sending the tweet, Rust has already put up the podcast of the Hash It
likes
Out.
already.
And it's like, yeah. So yeah, credit to Rust. He's got his notifications and everything set up and works pretty quickly, which is awesome. So thanks very much for putting all that together, mate.
So he's got a list of things that he sent out this week on the podcast. He also has some tutorials that he made, which are really neat. He has a really nice video tutorial for Ergo Node on the phone, as well as Ergo Mixer on the phone, which is really neat. If you have time to watch them. Essentially, he sets up the node on the phone, and then he points his wallet to that node for super fast response times or that kind of thing. So essentially, the wallet is referencing that node instead of going out on the internet and referencing somebody else's node that might be overburdened or busy or that kind of thing. So really, really cool. Put a lot of time into it, and it's really nice. Oh, and he thanks me. I didn't even read that part. Couldn't have done it without the help of QX. What a brown noser, Rustin.
It's cool little utility there, and obviously people have been waiting for NIPA powers and all kinds of things for light clients being able to run on phones, and phones have come a long way over the last sort of 5-10 years about what the capabilities are. They're basically little supercomputers, to be honest. So yeah, setting up a little Linux environment there and setting up the node and pointing a wallet directly to it, and you're interacting directly with the blockchain itself. So yeah, it's awesome to see.
Super cool. And I didn't mean to stop there. He also thanked Edberg for his help, absolute node expert, he says, in Glasgow for help with understanding Java heap size as well as final edits. So, we say this all the time too. I mean, here's somebody that's looking to do something neat, that a handful of people might be interested in doing, but still, he's got the developer of Satergo Wallet helping him out, as well as the EF member Glasgow helping him out on that kind of stuff. And that's just, yeah, you don't find that
And
anywhere else
yourself,
but
mate.
Ergo. I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. I love the cross collaboration that we always see in the ecosystem. And one thing I definitely hope we don't lose.
Yeah, yep, that is for sure.
Okay.
Do you want to take Captain Nemo?
Yeah, so I'll just jump into Nemo. Just a quick little update here on the Sigma Pi front. So there's a private beta running now, which has been very smooth. I know yourself have been involved in that, and it's pretty cool to see
It's awesome. Yeah.
the Sigma Scythe come to light. This public beta test program will start after the token lending is finished. So probably in 1 or 2 weeks, roughly. So soon.
And for people who didn't catch what Sigmafy is, essentially I can go on Sigmafy. I can take, let's say I want to, let's say I have a bunch of one token, but I want to have some spending power with another token without cashing it out through a DEX or an exchange or anything like that. So let's say I have 2 million common per se, and I can go on Sigmafy. I can put up that 2 million common, and I can say, hey, I need to borrow 150 erg. And if I don't repay you that erg, here is 250 2 million common, whatever I said that number was, I forgot already.
2 million.
2 million common. And I can also set the length of the loan, and I can also set the percentage rate of the loan request. So I do that, I hit submit, my comment goes into the transaction, and it just sits there on the front page of the website of Sigmafy. And then CW can come along and say, oh my gosh, this guy's never going to repay his loan, and I want that comment because that comment's going to moon, kind of thing.
I need to buy some lottery tickets.
Yes. So CW will say, here's 150 erg, and it goes to me directly after he accepts that loan, and I can do what I want with it. But before the ticker runs out, there's a nice little timer on the loan dashboard. Before that runs out, I have to repay that erg, or else the loan defaults and it goes away. I can't even like say, oops, I missed it by 2 hours. It's gone. It's off my dashboard after CW collects. There's a collect button, I believe, from the other side, kind of thing. So he can have his comment for my 150 erg kind of thing. So really neat utility. Beautiful too.
Yep.
I mean, it's Captain Nemo's front end touch, so it's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. And just bringing more DeFi product to Ergo. It's fantastic.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, next we have engchitchat. They are the degen divers, and you may see these degen divers. Noah Ergo, who you see in all the chats, Ergo ambassador, great guy, has one of the degen divers as his profile of his PFP kind of thing. So just a reminder, the sale of their first NFT series will continue by sales process of this Saturday at 12 a.m. midnight UTC. The price will be 18 erg each, which is pretty darn good price, dang. They released a sneak peek for series 2, Tiger and Magpie, which is the Korean folk art style. Neat. Something which hasn't been done in NFTs before. More reveals in the coming weeks. So that's pretty neat to look forward to if you're into NFTs. CW,
Definitely.
stay away from the store. Stay away.
I'll have to sit on my hands. Yeah, I'll try and pick up 1 or 2, depending on the time.
Or
Obviously,
20.
midnight UTC is pretty early for me. Okay, so next up we have the Grand Gambit, and sort of pretty significant update from those guys. So they've just rebranded, if you've missed that on the socials, and so far it's going smooth. There's a completely new UI for the website at www.grandgambit.com. So now ergflip.com should redirect to that one also. And regarding what's coming next, so just probably fixing some small details and starting to research about possible RNG, so decentralized results. So RNG is random number generator. then also starting to think about the next game. So yeah, having a nice little rebrand there. I love the little video that they put together, also highlighting the
it's
platform. I think it's fantastic, and it'd be great to see sort of that sort of advertising and everything, that marketing push from numerous sort of people throughout the ecosystem. And who knows, they might be willing to sort of do some freelance work for your project.
That's true. That's true. And I think it's said a lot. I think you've said this before. Joe said this before. Really, these kind of little projects that turn into this kind of thing, you know, it could be the little match that strikes and brings a ton of people over to Ergo. You know, they see the advertisement, they see, oh my gosh, there's a full casino, or there's a mini casino here that we can play games with and win cryptocurrency kind of thing. So it's just, you know, potentially takes one of those little tiny apps and developers to light that match and start the fire and bring people over kind of thing.
Yep, be that catalyst to bring that influx into the ecosystem. And yeah, just a simple little tool that started as a coin flip game, and now it's into sort of, like I said, a basically fully fledged casino with more games on the way, it looks like.
That is awesome. All right, next we have AllCyberpunk. So their Mythology collection was released on Monday the 9th. It was well received by Ergonauts and Cyber Ergonauts who follow my project. I want to thank them for the support. The auction of the auction house, a quarter of the collection, and practically everything has been sold, and in a few seconds. It was really fast. I went to retweet it on the Sigmanauts account, and Sis was like, "It's already sold out, bro." It's like, "Oh crap!" but
Congratulations.
yeah, amazing, guys. They're going to update the project page. They updated it with NFTs in the collection, and you can log in with your Nautilus wallet and see the NFTs you have in your wallet from his two collections. If you reach the sum of 2,500 with the rarity of all the NFTs in my new collection, you get a free cyber unicorn. Also, if you reach the sum of 3,500 in total with the NFTs in my two collections, you enter the Hall of Fame and you get a special phoenix like the one attached, like you can see right here. The rarity of each NFT is random. It's decided by the blockchain generating the ID. Its rarity level is a result of the sum of each of the numbers that appear in its ID, which is really neat. And I got to speak to that too. So two things here that I want to talk about. The first thing is that it's awesome. I love it when NFT artists apply a sort of utility to their NFTs. I loved it when the Angels did it with mining and with their drops. And these guys are doing it with kind of rankings and bonuses with your Cyber Unicorn and the Hall of Fame. That's amazing. I think NFTs have such a range of things you can do with it, and with these guys just poking and experimenting with the utility is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, it's great to see a number of projects here just sort of tinkering around and adding a little bit of utility here and there. And we often see it, and we spoke about it a little bit earlier as well. And can be that little catalyst, that little spark, and a little bit of tooling here and there, and someone can take that and run with it and even compile it all together and build some sort of super NFT utility project from the art side of things. But yeah, there's numerous sort of aspects in regards to NFTs that you can see in the future also.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's it. CW, I don't see your Hash It Out show on there advertising. Are you sleeping? Is that
why? Yeah, by the time this actually goes live, I can't remember what time it is. It's like midnight or 1 a.m. or something for me. And we're kind of touching on this just prior also about myself actually making concerted efforts to sort of turn my phone off at night, and even throughout different times of the day, especially with family and things, and making sure that I'm not getting woken up every second of the day, because being involved in crypto is 24/7 industry, and people are always wanting your attention here and there. So it's just a matter of sort of making that concerted effort to sort of not do that. But it's a very good point calling me out there on Hash It Out. I'll start making updates.
If you set them in advance, I'll put them down. I'll pop them down on the list for you.
Yeah, I can always do it when I wake up or something also. But yeah, definitely something I should be doing. Thanks for the call out.
Fantastic, CW. And I'm proud of you for putting your sanity personal life first. That's actually really tough to do. It is.
Oh, it's extremely difficult. Often find my little finger sitting there wanting to start scrolling and jumping on the phone and things. But yeah, definitely have to make a concerted effort to put it away at times. That's for sure.
I'll make sure to give you a drama update every morning that you miss it.
Cheers, mate.
Okay, let's go to our last section here. That was it for community updates. So the last bit, I want to freeform this a little bit, talk about the Sigmanauts a little bit instead of just doing a basic Sigmanaut update. So there was a bit of chat this week about Sigmanauts transparency and that kind of thing. And one thing that I just want to say for everybody to hear is that there is no expectation, essentially, of participation when it comes to being a Sigmanaut. Your level of participation can be like, Sisyphus Push, who is, created an entire NFT recognition voting kind of experience to help with the NFT ecosystem there, where he's also involved in the Sigmanauts governance kind of thing, where he's also using the Sigmanauts Twitter to tweet kind of thing. So there's that level of engagement that he has currently the bandwidth for. And then all the way to the other side, where there's a level of engagement where you may only engage in chats, or you may engage when Alexis posts something about Ergopad and you retweet that and add a comment to that kind of thing. It is all levels, and I completely understand where you may get wrapped up in the thought that, okay, here we are at a meeting and all these things are flying across and all these plans are happening and this is just too much. I don't want to partake in that kind of that kind of organizational process where there's that much on the table to do. That's not for me. But I want to tell you that that's just part of the whole. Okay. As I said, there's plenty of different levels that are there for you to engage in, whether it be tweeting about Ergo, whether it be just engaging for a little bit in chat like you already do, whether it be continuing work on a tooling set that you've always been working on, kind of thing. It's just being part of that. And the Sigmanauts program essentially allows you to have a little more organization and getting everybody together, getting everybody to know what you're working on, getting everybody to pass those ideas back and forth that somebody else may have not thought about, kind of thing. So that's really what I just wanted to say out in the open, because we've had a couple people just a little nervous about the kind of participation that they may perceive that they need to partake in to be a Sigmanaut. And it's all levels, CW, all levels.
Yeah, exactly. You can see once more organization comes into the sort of Sigmanauts, there is a level of formality there, I'd say, in simple terms. But in regards to sort of your interaction with the SIGs, whether, like I said, varies on the depth on what you want to engage in. You can attend every meeting, be part of every governance vote, wanting to control treasury funds. Once that's all set up, you could control this Twitter account. There's numerous ways you can sort of get in, or you can just sit back and chill and just be a great community member and not sort of dive into that complete sort of, I guess you could call it a formality, or the formal response there in regards to that. But yeah, it takes all to be involved in the ecosystem. Yeah,
or you could be a simple ambassador from the Sigmanauts in that to the community, where you make sure that people know what's going on in the Sigmanauts if meeting notes aren't posted fast enough or that kind of thing, where you're the one that's saying, hey, where are those things, or let's get those out, or I'll post it myself, or let's talk about today what we talked about in there kind of thing. And that could be your role too. So many different facets in the ecosystem, so many different talents that I've found, with so many different people in here. There's a spot for everybody, that wants to participate. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy, and don't be scared off by expected levels of participation, which may be perceived. And, I'm sure we're guilty of exhibiting that and projecting that for sure too. So there's some responsibility there. So yeah, we'd love to see you. We're going to put the Sigmanaut SigCan application link right in our Twitter for the Sigmanauts Twitter, and I'll put it down below as well. So if anybody wants to read up on it and see what they can do to help out, we'd love to have you on board.
Yep. Very
You
good.
get to see CW at 2:30 a.m. his time.
Yeah, it's not a good look. So yeah, just on that, fantastic to have everyone involved, and depending on the level of engagement that you want to jump in, by all means jump on that link and read up about it, and if it means anything to you, then by all means sign up.
Exactly. Awesome. All right. Anything else, CW?
No, that probably sums everything up. We can probably run through our weekly sort of schedule of what we do release. So kicking things off on the Tuesdays, we have the community chats. So jump on Discord and Telegram there. They are bridged. Wednesdays, try and aim for hash it out.
What's the community chat this week, CW?
I've been leaning towards the DeFi protocol side of things. So there has been a lot of chatter in regards to lending options. So basically options, bonds, traditional collateralized lending, uncollateralized lending, numerous sort of fronts. So all these terms are thrown around and people sort of might know DeFi, but what does it actually mean? So I think that would be a nice community chat this week.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then Wednesdays try and aim for hash it out. Thursdays we have we have the community what are they?
AMA.
The developer chats on Wednesdays. We have these marketing update on Wednesdays, 1 UTC. Thursdays we have the AMA and update. Friday, we have the SIG update, and Sundays, the developer update. So plenty of content getting out there. So if you do see it on the socials, by all means, share and all that sort of stuff that goes along with it.
That's amazing. Did you lose your video screen, CW?
I did.
Perfect timing. Let me just add that we are going to start as a Sigmanaut Twitter. CW foolishly gave me the login for the actual main account for Sigmanauts Twitter, as opposed to just TweetDeck access. So Sigmanauts now have the ability to host spaces and join as the actual Sigmanauts Twitter, which is fantastic. So there's talk in the Sigmanauts channel about Sisyphus Push, Noah, Cran, who else? Kill It With Coffee, several other people that I forgot to mention as well. And myself hosting spaces, and the kind of topics we're talking about at first are the first space, maybe talk a little bit about the SIGs, how to join, and then maybe some special guests, and potentially try to get maybe some, well, I don't want to say what it is. You'll have to wait, and we have to verify as well. So soon. So keep an eye out for that as well. We'll post it in chats when we're going to host that space on Twitter.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Great. Thanks so much, CW. It's been a great week.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure chatting once again. And thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Thanks. Have a good one.